Hello children, hi. Today we are going to learn heat lesson activity 6, isn't it? So already you have learned the previous activities in this lesson. So what is a heat? Heat is a form of energy that transits from a body at a higher temperature to a body at a lower temperature. The heat will flow from the two bodies, isn't it? Already you have learned in the previous activities. Now in this activity, we can able to learn the quantity of heat, how much heat. See, heat is transferred, okay, from a body at a higher to a body at a lower temperature, isn't it? So how can you calculate the quantity of heat required to flow? For us, let us take a case 1 where you have taken two beakers A and B. Okay, so let us take A 250 grams of water and B 1 kg of water. In A and B, if you observe, B is having more quantity of water and A is having less quantity of water, isn't it? 250 grams is less than 1 kg. Now, note down the initial temperatures. Let us take this. The initial temperature means normally it is 25 degrees centigrade. Okay. Let us start with a constant flame on both the sides. Okay, on both 250 grams and 1 kg of water, heat with a equal flame or constant flame. Okay, now let that heat it up to a temperature of 60 degrees centigrade. Okay, what is the initial temperature? 25 degrees centigrade. What is the final temperature? 60 degrees centigrade. Okay, so note down the time taken for A and B separately. Okay, how can you note down the time taken? With the help of a stop clock, isn't it? So here, note down the temperature for A. Let us take the time taken be T1 seconds, and time taken for B is T2 seconds. Okay. Everybody knows as the 1 kg is more than 250 grams, the time taken will be more for B. That means T2 is greater than T1. So, but we are supplying a constant heat, isn't it? So, which one takes more heat means which takes more time. So, T2 is having more time. So, B will take more heat to get a temperature 60 degrees centigrade, and A will take less time to reach the 60 degrees centigrade, isn't it? So, here the Q is, we can say easily Q is proportional to the mass. Okay, so next case 2. Let us take a beaker of 1 liter and heat it, okay, with a constant flame continuously. And you heat continuously with a constant flame, note down the temperature for every 2 minutes. So here what is constant there? A flame, the supply of heat energy is constant. So we are heating up that 1 liter of water. Okay, so every 2 minutes note down the temperature. What you will observe is the rise in the temperature or change in the temperature will be same for every 2 minutes. That means we can conclude that Q is proportional to delta T. Previously what we have concluded, Q is proportional to mass or Q is proportional to M. So let us take this is equation 1 and it is equation 2. When you combine the 1 and 2, okay, then we can easily say Q is directly proportional to M into delta T. Okay, so when you want to remove a proportionality, you have to keep a constant. That means Q is equal to M into small s into delta T, where small s is specific heat. Okay, specific heat. Stop. Now the specific heat. Okay, specific heat is represented with the letter S small s. Okay, already you have learned Q is equal to ms delta T, isn't it? So S is equal to then Q by m delta T is a formula to find out the specific heat. Okay, specific heat, every quantity there are units. Okay, in CGS system of units, the Q, the value is calories, and mass grams, and temperature degree centigrade. So isn't it? So in CGS, as the units are the specific heat is calories per gram centigrade, degree centigrade. Now SI system of in SI system of units, it is joules per kg Kelvin. So when you convert the CGS systems into SI system of units, okay, then 1 calorie per gram centigrade is equal to 4.186 joules per kg Kelvin. Then what is the definition of specific heat? Okay, it is the amount of heat required. See, it is the amount of heat required to convert a unit mass. Unit mass how much? 1. So let us say it is in CGS, it is 1 grams. Okay, it is the amount of heat required to convert 1 gram of a substance through 1 degree centigrade. So it is very easy to remember when you know the formula. Okay, it is the amount of heat required to rise 1 unit through 1 degree centigrade of any substance. A is a specific heat. Okay, is it clear? Now that means if you observe this table, the specific heat table. Okay, what are the units? Calories per gram centigrade. Okay, when you take, let us take an element or metal, the lead. Okay, what is the symbol of lead? Pb. Its value is 0.031. And when it is mercury, the symbol is Hg, isn't it? So it is Hg is 0.033 and water is 1.0. See, for if you take one mass of a substance, let us take, then how much S is the value? See here it is 1, substitute mass per 1 and 1 degree, then Q is directly equal to the S. Okay, specific heat. Okay, so here let us take here any substance. If you say water, okay, or lead, okay, which specific heat is less here? Lead is very less and water is 1.0, which is more than these values. Okay, if the value of specific heat of water is more, and when you supply the same amount of heat energy, then the rise in the temperature will be less for water and more for lead. Why? Because here if you observe the formula, S is equal to Q by m delta T. Okay, it is the amount of heat required. So when you take the delta T, where if the raise in the temperature is less for water when you supply the same amount of heat. Why? Because specific heat depends upon the nature of the substance. So when the water, the rise in the temperature will be less, and for lead the rise in temperature will be very quick or very high. Okay, then if you compare, then what we must got an idea, or we should got a doubt first of all, why the water will take more time, okay, to rise the temperature, okay, and lead will take very less time to rise the temperature, because it depends upon the nature of the substance. Okay, specific heat gives the idea about the reluctance, the idea of reluctance which it is offered by the substances. Then what is this actually? So when you take the basic thing, see, when you take the matter, what is the basic particle in the matter? Normally you will say atoms and molecules. These atoms and molecules will have their internal energies or intrinsic energies. What are they? Energies inside the molecule. Okay, they will have 4 energies inside. Okay, one, the linear kinetic energy, the rotational kinetic energy, and the potential energy and vibrational energy. Okay, so here these four energies, if you supply the heat energy, they are shared by the molecules. The temperature rises, means where the energy will go, the energy will go into the molecules in these four energies. If the sharing is equal, okay, the sharing will be more for linear kinetic energy, then the rise in temperature is more. If the sharing of the linear kinetic energy is less, okay, then rise in temperature will be less. Okay, that means the reluctance offered by the materials depends upon the nature of the substance. So specific heat is, we can easily say, okay, we can easily understand by this. Okay, so here which takes more time to rise the temperature? Water will take some more time. And which will take less time? Lead will take less time to reach the high temperatures. Okay, that's why we are using lead in the soldering. Okay, so now the applications of specific heat, where we are using this specific heat. When you take the earth will have 75% of water. Okay, it is covered with completely of water, isn't it? 75%. So specific heat of water is more. Okay, that is the reason why the at the equator the more water bodies are present, and the large amount of heat will be absorbed by this water. This solar heat energy will be absorbed by the water. Okay, so here what it will do, it will absorb those large amount of heat energy, and overall the earth temperature will be maintained, isn't it? And if you take the poles temperature will be very less, and north pole or south pole and equator, the large amount of heat energy will be absorbed by the water, and it will be distributed to all the water bodies. Okay, that is the reason why the oceans are called storehouses. Okay, so to maintain the relative temperature or moderate climate, okay, the water is very useful. Why? Because the specific heat of water will be more, so it absorbs large amount of heat energy, and that will be transferred, okay, to the poles, and that is the reason why the oceans are called storehouses. So when you take another example, watermelon. Okay, so when you take this watermelon outside the refrigerator, it will be cool for more time also. When you kept outside also for more time, it will be cool. Why? Because the watermelon contains more amount of water. So to rise the temperature will be, it takes more time. To cool down also it takes more time. So watermelon is another example of the specific heat. And the third, the samosa. Okay, so when you take the samosa, the outer layer may be cool, but inside the ingredients, okay, it will be very very hot. Sometimes it happens to you also. So these are the applications of specific heat. One, the oceans are storehouses. Another one, the watermelon, and the last one is samosa. Okay, students, understand? Okay.